to Madam and all the lovely people out there. This is Kratika Agrawal, and today I, with my team, will be presenting before all of you a very interesting topic that has simplified the working of organizations during the course of pandemic. I hope by now you will have got an idea about it. Yeah, I'm talking about cloud computing. So now the question arises: what is the cloud computing? You can configure that cloud is made up of two words: cloud plus computing. The cloud refers to servers that are accessed over the internet and the software and databases that run on those services. Computing, on the other hand, is the process of using computer technology, which encompasses the design and development of software and hardware systems for a broad range of purposes, sorry, combining both the definitions. We can define cloud computing as the delivery of computing services, including server, storage, etc., over the internet to offer fast innovation, flexible resources, and economies of scale. Moving ahead, I will now discuss the emergence of cloud computing that occurred with the passage of time. When we think of cloud computing, we think of situations, products, and ideas that started in the 21st of century. This is not exactly the whole truth. Cloud concepts have existed for many years. The idea of cloud computing can actually be traced back to the 1950s. Because computers were so expensive during that period, multiple users shared computing parts. It is similar to the concept of time sharing. In 1955, McCarthy, who coined the term artificial intelligence, also developed and implemented the idea of time sharing computing. Number two, in 1997, Ramanath Chalapar defined cloud computing as a new computing paradigm where the boundaries of computing will be determined by economic rationale rather than technical limits alone. Number three, in 2006, the introduction of Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud as a commercial web service by Amazon allowed small companies and individuals to rent computers. So with the passage of time, there came a lot of advancement in the field of cloud computing, which made it a market-holding technology in the world. Moving ahead, I will now discuss the features of cloud computing using an example. You all must be aware of Informatica Intelligent Cloud Services, which is a cloud-based data integration platform that provides a variety of features such as business data integration, application integration, and API management between cloud and local applications. Informatica Cloud satisfies the core requirement of iPaaS-based application, which
Ma'am,
are
your speed
number.
is ma'am, your speed is very fast, ma'am. Please keep it
Uh,
low.
sure, sorry. You all must have heard about Informatica Cloud. So Informatica Cloud satisfies the core requirements of iPaaS-based application, which are number one, accessible from any machine with an internet access and web browser application. Number two, a common platform with multiple wizards that guide to build and test your integration task. Number three, it provides enterprise orchestration of full process build. Number four, it is centralized and helps you to monitor capabilities to track the progress and result of jobs. Number five, it's pre-configured integration templates for various recurring business use cases. Number six, it is a real-time data integration and bulk data integration services. And number seven, it provides connectors to connect to external data sources and connector SDK, that is software development toolkit, to build custom connectors. So you can see how this cloud computing software is simplifying the business process just over the internet. Now, Fark will take over the presentation and continue with various models of cloud services. Thank you.
Thank you, Kartika. Now, I would like to discuss types of cloud services. So these days, cloud services is available as software as a services, platform as a services, infrastructure as a service, and serverless computing. Next, please. So software as a services, also abbreviated as SaaS. So a SaaS is nothing but cloud-based software services that provides cloud services on the basis of licensing and subscription. It is ready to use and requires no development cost. Due to its easy launch and new low subscription cost, it's very popular amongst small and medium-sized businesses. Most SaaS providers provide their basic version for free. For example, G Suite, which is also known as Google Workspace, which we all use, like Gmail, Google Drive, Google Sheet, Google Doc. These all comes under the package of G Suite. Zoho, India's largest SaaS providers, provide multiple SaaS services for small and medium-sized businesses. Zoom is used for cloud meetings. Slack, used as a messaging platform within an organization for internal communication. Canva, another SaaS product which these days is very popular for graphic designing due to its easy to use and ready-made
Very good.
templates. So next, please. Platform as a service, also known as PaaS. So a PaaS is a
बहुत
cloud.
बहुत जबरदस्त साहब, बहुत बढ़िया, शानदार.
भाई हो कौन यार,
So,
जरा दिखा, ऑन करोगे अपना कैमरा? हमारी क्लास में हो आप?
sorry to let me proceed. So platform as a service is a platform-based cloud service that provides customized development environment to develop and run cloud application. Now you guys would think what is the basic difference between SaaS and PaaS, right? So SaaS is a ready-to-use service while PaaS is a customized services. So let's discuss some PaaS examples. So we have Discord server, which is used to develop and build cloud community on its server. We have Microsoft Azure App Services and Google App Engine. So these cloud services are used to develop application. CPaaS, which is communication platform as a service, is used for building communication network. Last year, Tanla, an Indian CPaaS provider, developed two platforms that is wisely used for building multi-channel communication network, which you can say omni-channel communication network. Kubla, again developed by Tanla platform, which is world first blockchain-enabled CPaaS used for basically sending OTPs and promotional messages on SMS and WhatsApp, which we all use to validate financial transaction of leading Indian banks and NBFCs. So that's it from my side. Now I would like to invite Kashif to further discuss infrastructure as a services and serverless computing. Thank you and over to you.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you, Afaq. As you mentioned, the topic of my discussion today will be infrastructure as a service. Now, what is infrastructure as a service? It is a service in which the cloud providers will provide you the infrastructure that you require to build a business online. It can be virtual machines, it can be networking, etc. Now, the client will use, the consumer will pay only for what they have been using. It is known as the pay as per use model. Now, if I talk about the infrastructure part, it mainly categorizes into three main parts. Number one is computing. That's where all the computing is done. Number second, the storage part. That's where all the data is stored. If I take an example of an object storage, it is relatively inexpensive. In this, you can store any type of data like pictures, documents, etc. Now, the third category, which is networking, which is the main category, because without a network, you cannot do anything. Network is just like a pipe which connects all the other things together. In today's world, the top IaaS providers are Amazon Web Service, Google Compute Engine, Rackspace Open Cloud, IBM Cloud, and etc. Now, the fourth type of cloud service, which is I'm going to talk about, is serverless. Can you change the slide, please? Serverless, it is an execution model which enables the most cost-effective way to build and operate any cloud application. Amazon Web Services introduced serverless with AWS Lambda in 2014. Today, every leading cloud company is using it, like Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud Engine, you name it. Now, if I talk about, I will talk about the term called FaaS, which is known as function as a service. Now, people often conflate between serverless and FaaS, but actually FaaS is a subset of serverless. Suppose if I talk about an example, suppose you have to resize an image. You go to online site, you upload an image. When you uploaded an image, it will create an event, and that event will call the function, and that function will change the size of an image, and then it will move on to the storage part. Now, please, can you change the slide? Now, recently IBM took a survey of around 1,200 IT employees, mainly developers, and they concluded that serverless is being used in many different sectors of the business today. Thank you. And I would like to call Uruj for the next topic, which is deployment models.
Thank you, Kashif. Now I will be covering cloud computing deployment models. Next slide. It indicates how the cloud services are made available to users. The 4 deployment models are public cloud. First is public cloud. The public cloud makes it possible for anybody to access system and services. It may be, next slide. It may be less secure as it is open for everyone. The infrastructure in this cloud model is owned by the entity that delivers the cloud services, not by the consumer. In this arrangement, storage backup and retrieval services are given for free. Example, Google App Engine. Next is private cloud. Through its name, a private cloud is typically infrastructure used by a single organization. Such infrastructure may be managed by the organization itself to support various user groups, or it could be managed by a service provider that takes care of it either on-site or off-site. Private clouds are more expensive than public clouds. However, private clouds are better able to address the security and privacy concerns of organizations today. Examples, SBI uses Meghadoot, hybrid cloud. Next is in a hybrid cloud, and organizations make use of interconnected private and public cloud infrastructure. The usual method of using the hybrid clouds to have a private cloud initially and then for additional resources, the public cloud is used. It can be regarded as a private cloud extended to the public cloud. Last is community cloud. Next slide. This deployment model, next slide please. Yes, this deployment model supports multiple organizations sharing computing resources that are part of a community. Example including universities cooperating in certain areas of research, or police departments within a country or a state. Access to a community cloud environment is typically restricted to the members of the community. Thank you. And now Afnan will be continuing the presentation.
Thank you. So hi everybody, I'm basically going to elaborate on the uses of cloud computing. So let me tell you a quick incident which happened 2 days back. I was at work and I received notification from Zomato saying that my mind was at work, but my heart's live location was at Barfi's. And that's basically a restaurant near me. And trust me, this literally brought a smile on my face. And that is the power of analytics. That is exactly how companies use your data to serve you better and drive more profits. And why has this become easier or even possible in the first place? Because of cloud computing, which has allowed you to gather and save humongous amount of data and churn it to derive useful information, which ultimately brings me to my second and third point of file storage and data backup. Can I have the next slide, please? Okay, so I really cannot imagine how would these companies save such huge chunk of information had cloud computing not existed. There are basically two things over here. No matter how many systems you build or how much capacity you add to your in-house data warehouse, you will not be able to keep up. And number two, even if you keep up, even if that happens, you will not be able to extract the same value from that data at a given point of time because you cannot collaborate. You cannot work together in real time, right? And just imagine a scenario wherein your hardware fails or an unforeseen disaster strikes. What's going to happen? That is when cloud computing steps in, and that is when data backup rescues you. Apart from this, there are several other uses, and I do not have time to explain that. So I'll just mention it that cloud computing helps you to create, to test, as well as build multiple applications, basically. That's all from my end. Had I got enough time, I would have elaborated. So I would like Shanu to please step in and elaborate on the advantages of cloud computing. Thank you.
Thank you, Afnan. Well, we have seen the what is the cloud computing, its principles, its models, its types. Now we are going to see the advantage and the disadvantages. Starting with the advantages, first is about the cost efficiency. Cloud computing is based on the billing model, that is as per usage. So it has less as compared to the traditional computing, that is the hardware drives. Now, second is about the universal document access. Well, we say that the data and the services are stored remotely, but it can be accessible from anywhere. Third is about the data recovery. Suppose if we have the hardware disk and it would got damaged, then it would be difficult to recover it, and it would be not possible and expensive too. But in case of cloud computing, we have the data backup. Now about the data centralization. Well, cloud computing acts as a platform where we can get the certain multiple projects and the different branches, offices, services, and the data stored in one location. And definitely it has cloud computing has increased the storage capacity, volume of data, and the volume of data and services are stored as compared to that of the hardware disk. We had the limit about 1 TB to 2 TB, but in cloud computing we don't have such limits. Now we see that cloud computing basic function is to have to speed deliver, it's critical. And in cloud computing we see that it changes and adopt itself according to the changes in business. Now we are moving toward the limitations. Next slide.
Sure.
Shanuri, please continue.
Yeah. Now we have seen the advantages. Now we will continue with the disadvantage and the challenges the cloud computing possesses. First is about the availability and the reliability. Well, cloud computing is provided by the third party, which means that the business groups often concerned about the availability and the reliability of the data. Now, second is about the constant internet connection. We see that cloud computing basically works upon the constant internet connection. If there is a dead internet connection, which means that our deal can be dead. Third is about the portability. At present, till date now, we don't have those techniques where we can migrate our application from one cloud provider to another. Next, about the security and the privacy. Well, we have seen that certain glitches like phishing, visual attack, and unethical hacking, but etc. We have seen these are the major concern or security privacy. Now, the fifth one is about the incompatibility. Well, certain applications and softwares are compatible to the personal computer only, which are incompatible to devices like the cell phones, etc. Now, we have seen cloud computing is growth tremendously, which the experts suggest that it would be manageable. There would be doubt about the manageable capabilities. Now, I request Sadia Iqbal to continue with the conclusion. Thank you.
Thank you, Shanu. We will now have a brief overview of our presentation along with the key learnings and takeaways regarding the discussion on the computing method. National Institute of Software Technology describes it best as a model for enabling convenient on-demand network access to a shared pool of configurable computing resources such as network, server, storage, application, and service. There are a number of deployment models, namely the public, private, community, and hybrid cloud models, all catering to a large audience with their diverse demands. It also provides different capabilities-based services such as that of SaaS, PaaS, IaaS, and serverless services. We also had a brief discussion regarding the advantages and disadvantages of the technology along with the uses of the said technology. Moving on to the key takeaways. We have taken from the above discussion, it can be deciphered that the proponents of cloud computing tells us that technology offers best of both worlds. It provides storage and ability to share the file while allowing the physical workspace. The cloud model is efficient for spaces that work with quite large file sizes by providing connection between the servers relatively fast with high-end features. It allows resource pooling to provide services to multiple users and dynamically adapt according to their demands. One of the many key features also includes its high accessibility and availability over the network, anytime and anywhere through the standard mechanism, and it doesn't even require any human interaction. Cloud technology has also helped business and people to weather the ongoing storm caused by the global pandemic, enabling the companies to complete the digital transformation. Now, all takeaways and examples fall short to describe how eminent cloud computing is. In fact, us having this presentation today is we need. Starting with the professor's instruction, our team's virtual meetups, or the fact that people residing kilometers away were able to work on this as a team. And the fact that we are able to share this with you shows how inculcated this technology is in our day-to-day life. So, in lieu of the discussion, it will be right to say that the winners of tomorrow will be the ones that navigate this change rapidly, make the right choices, and engage with the appropriate partners to augment their own capabilities. With this, we conclude our presentation. These are the references we have used for ensuring an equal participation on our behalf. We had the work broadly divided as shown, along with the associated effort and feedback of the team. Now, I would like to invite you all for a round of questionnaire. Thank you. Also, ma'am, I would like to notify you that there was some technical glitch from the side who was presenting. That's why there was a delay in the slides. So please pardon us for that.
Okay, may I
We
ask
can
a question?
permit just two relevant questions.
Oh, ma'am, I had a question. Should I go ahead?
Yes, ma'am.
Maria?
Yes, ma'am. So you mentioned for the advantages of cloud computing that it has reduced cost. So my question was, how has cloud computing reduced cost?
I am taking this question. So basically, a few days back, we were discussing in accounts class, there is some fixed cost and there is some variable cost. So there is a fixed cost of cloud computing, which is very small as compared to the scalability available from cloud computing. So there is just a small upfront phase. After that, no matter how much we are going to scale, the fixed cost will be limited, and there will where all the cost reduction comes. I hope that would I am able to answer your question.
I would like to add one point. Thank you, Afaq. See, you must have seen previously that the companies used to buy large storage like pen drives, hard disks to store the data. So it was like costing them a huge. So as the advancement of cloud computing has arrived, they have been provided the storage over the internet. For example, Google Drive. So now when you click photographs in your mobile phone, you don't have to store them in a pen drive. You're accessible to Google Drive. So you can see that your cost is also reduced. You do not have to carry that storage anywhere. You are accessible to the internet and you can use that data anywhere, anytime. I hope Afaq and I have answered your question, Maria. Yeah, thank you.
May I ask a question?
Oh, please go ahead, Dushyant.
Okay, which platform is better in cloud computing? Software as a service, infrastructure as a service, or platform as a service?
We cannot say that which is better or which is not. Every platform has its own and different properties, right? If you are
Yes, who
the
asked the
owner of a
question?
company
May I
and
know
if you
who
want,
asked the question?
Yes, ma'am, Dushyant.
Just a minute. Acha, Dushyant, what was the question?
Ma'am, my
Can you
question was
repeat?
which one is better in cloud computing? Software as a service, infrastructure as a service, or platform as a service?
Okay. Yes, Yasir, you can answer.
yes, ma'am. Okay, so there is no comparison because all these are the categories of cloud computing and they cannot be compared, right? Because every either it is SaaS or IaaS or PaaS, everything has its own and different property. For example, if we are talking about infrastructure as a service, then it provides the cloud for an organization for their purpose. If we are talking about a product as a service, then it is providing products on the cloud to install us or that those softwares on our devices. So all these are different. They are not same, right? Though they all depend on cloud computing, but they are different. They are providing different things, so they cannot be compared. I hope I have answered you.
I think he's been able to answer. Dushyant, I think you're happy.
Yes,
We
yes,
can
ma'am.
call it a day. We meet tomorrow at 12 o'clock, where we have three more presentations tomorrow. We take up any other query that you have only tomorrow. You can leave the meeting now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. ma'am.
अरे यार कल इवेंट पड़ेगा.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone, for coordination.
मैम कल कितने बजे शुरू होगा प्रेजेंटेशन?
अलग ही वक्त. Yeah.
थैंक यू मैम.
अरे क्या हाल है फिराज
हाँ
भाई?
बस भाई
क्या हाल है?
अलहमदुलिल्लाह. आप सुनाए?
अबे सो गए क्या सब?
लग तो ऐसा ही रहा.